You are watching Pausing with Erik. We pause for a second or two. How do we keep life coherent when so much is changing? This is episode 282. Simple routines. These are confusing times. It can seem like the times that we live in right now are even overwhelmingly confusing. Like every day, there are new things popping up to be confused about, and it's very difficult to gain any sense of structure. It's difficult to sort of sort things and place things. It can feel chaotic. Like the only thing we know is that to take one day at a time almost. And it's heavy to not really feel that we know what to expect. Confusion is not really something to dwell in for a sustained period of time. It becomes draining, and it makes us fearful to be confused all the time. However, confusion, it might sound like a paradox, but confusion is where we find the raw material to build our future. So even though confusion is so difficult and so unpleasant often, we need confusion. So confusion in itself is never the enemy, but rather the lack of structure on our part for our confusion. That is the enemy. The lack of structure for our confusion. So today we will talk about one way in which to build such a structure for our confusion. This is what we want, structure. And today we get some help from this wood cube. Routines. So routines is a confused skill. A skill for our confused situation. It helps for our confusion. Here is the image for confused skill routines. It says omega-3 and then a plus sign in the middle, and then down right there is some sort of a running shoe. So why does it say omega-3 plus sign running shoe. So these two, omega-3 fatty acids and going out running, these are two examples of my own personal routines. So we will talk today about what do I mean with simple routines and why are simple routines good for our confusion. And we will sort of make use of these two personal examples of mine to make it more clear what I mean. So what is routines? We pause and make simple routines that we like. Routines is how we split our confusion up into smaller pieces. Okay, so let's sketch this. So let's say that this line is the full extent of our confusion. So this is our confusion. If we would just try to take on all of our confusion like this, like everything all at once, we always get overwhelmed. It's not really practical. So how then do we split it up into smaller, more manageable pieces? Let's do that here. Cut it in half, quarters, eighth. Maybe that's enough for now, just to visualize it. So now, one of these pieces, it feels much more manageable. So one of these pieces of confusion, we can actually do something with, so that we can transform our confusion to like an arrow here, to raw material. Raw material. And routines is how we do that splitting. So say for example these two simple routines of mine. Every morning I take some omega-3 fatty acids supplements. And omega-3 is very good for the brain and the heart. And it helps us think. It's like we just think much more flexible when we have omega-3 fatty acids. So every morning I take those pills. And going out running. Running or jogging is another example of it just works. It just helps our thinking to become more more limber. So once or twice or 3 times a week, depending, I go out running. It sort of unclogs the body of waste and makes thinking more easy. So each of these sort of splits is an example of, so here I take omega-3, 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 omega-3 all throughout, or go out running, 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 and so on. And why does this work? So the key word here is simple. Simple routines. This is our keyword. Simple routines. And why is simple the most important thing to remember here? Well, if the routines were not simple, we would not be able to sustain them long term. If the routines were not simple, they would not act as these sort of compartments. So the routine in themselves are more effective if they are not complicated. If they are not sort of, they're not supposed to be extravagant. They're supposed to be boring, actually. Boring is a good word in this context. It's quite boring to take omega-3 fatty acids every morning. It's quite boring to go out running. It's just, you run. So for me, for example, when I go out running, I have this sort of route. I run out on the countryside, and then in a circle, and then back home. And when I'm running there in the fields, sometimes I meet with some animals, some cows or some crows, or one time I met with a fox. And when I run there, it's like I can feel in my body, I can feel in how it is to be me at that moment. I can feel how the period of time has been for me since last time I ran. So say that I run here. Then I feel during this running session, I feel how this time has felt. So here I feel, how was it to be Erik since last time I ran? So what I have to sort of deal with at that routine moment is not everything. I only have to deal with this part, since last time. And sort of feeling how it was to be Erik during this time, this period of time, is manageable, or at least more manageable than dealing with this or this. So routines are They are profound and they are effective in a very humble way. It would seem that the smartest people around, they all feel good from having routines. It's very difficult to feel good or feel on top of our lives without routines, I would say. It's that important. So it's key here that we pause and make simple routines that we like. So I write like here. Very important that you like the routine. If you do not like the routine, you will not want to keep doing it, and you will not feel the breathing space necessary to feel how it is to be you during that routine. So it's very important that it's both simple and that you like it. So yes, running in my case is boring, but I also like it a lot. It's part of who I am. So I would say more important than that the routine, looks in a certain way, that it looks good. It's more important that it's simple and that you like it. For example, a lot of smart people smoke cigarettes. And yes, of course, we all know that smoking is bad. But in a deeper sense, I would say that smoking can be very good. Because smoking, it's a very simple routine and it's very enjoyable. So every time a smart person dealing with a lot of confusion takes a cigarette, gets more manageable. They can sort of regroup with how it is to be them since they last took a cigarette. Again, splitting the confusion up into smaller, more manageable pieces. So I would say smoking and going out running in this sense is the same thing. Actually, might sound weird, but I don't think it is. So I like running and therefore it's effective for me. But if you don't like to run, then it won't be effective for you. So it could even be something, conventionally thought of as bad, like smoking. Of course, within limits. It's not like I would not go further than smoking. I would not go, I would not talk about intoxication of more severe kinds. I think the line has to be drawn somewhere where the routines stop being routines and start being, just decadence. But I think there are worse things in the world than smoking cigarettes. So simple routines that we like. Then it will be easier to sort of reconnect with how it is to be us. And not be overwhelmed by, all confusion at once. That's not practical. That's it for today. Thank you.